Genshiken.
Genshiken.
Chikon.
Chica. It's like that scene from fucking Fifth Element.
Exactly what I was saying. Exactly what I was referencing when I said that.
Also, that movie did not age well.
It's a cult classic.
I was gonna say
so you can watch it.
It has a charm.
It has a charm.
It does have a
it's
charm.
singularly unique. Nothing else is quite like it. Maybe Stargate, but it's not.
What I will say is, I think anybody who has not seen that and who's gonna watch it for the first time
Yeah.
is not gonna like it.
Oh,
No.
weird. Kind of like an almost 40-year-old man watching Dragon Ball Z for the first time.
Yeah.
No, this is
that
worse.
what you mean?
No, this is worse.
It
It is much
don't
more.
know if it's
It is
worse.
much more problematic. That movie is
it problematic?
Very problematic.
What's problematic about it?
Bruce Willis is such a misogynist in it.
Is he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but misogyny's kind of cool, right?
It was back then. Back then, it really was. We were just talking about all those great lyrics from deathcore bands.
That's right. That's right.
Oh
I thought he
god.
kind of ended up taking care of her, man. She was like needed some help. Actually, though, like
Yeah, he never really like does anything to her, does he?
no, I think he like
yeah,
covers her up.
No, he like forces himself on her, like to like kiss, like try to kiss her and stuff.
Oh,
like
he does
that.
do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. 100%. Yeah, but she
Yeah.
fucking slaps him. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it
doesn't make it okay.
Yeah,
No,
doesn't
it
make
doesn't.
It okay. No, yeah.
No,
Psycho.
no. It just it makes it like
He doesn't have a multi-pass to do that anytime he wants.
Corbin Dallas.
Corbin
Corbin
Dallas.
Dallas.
Multipass.
Multi-pass.
Multipass.
Multi-pass.
You know what else I love about that movie is that in the end, like how they all like how they get like they win and everything goes good. Is the fifth element is love. The fifth element was love all along.
Yeah. Toxic love.
I love when that happens. I love when it's like, oh, just love. Just feel it in your heart and it'll work out.
And the real friends were the love we made along the way.
Yeah.
Why don't we do the snap now?
Oh yeah.
Jordy's sleeping.
Yeah,
God, no, I was just really enjoying this conversation. We're a Genshiken club. We're just talking about nerd shit.
I guess.
Yes. And welcome back, where we are talking about problematic men in problematic movies, where love is the answer.
Love is the fifth element. Right? Earth, water, wind, fire, naturally.
Naturally.
Love.
No, it's the otaku club that we're going to join. But yes, people, we are doing Genshiken.
Yep.
And this is a fan rec from, I think, Apple Pod Reviews.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, it's
I
Andrew.
thought you said apple pie for a second. I was
Apple
like,
pie,
let's
yeah.
get some of that, please.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, so shout out to you. This is Andrew Chayanese. I think I don't know if I said that right, but anyway,
You did it.
Andrew.
Andrew, thank you for exposing me to something I didn't even know fucking existed. First of all, like when I saw this on like our watch list, I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
And then I saw what it was, and I was like, "Wait, this exists?"
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I was also like, "Of course this exists."
Of course.
Yeah.
This is the first one. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was surprised I had never heard of it.
Yeah.
I had never seen it before, and that it's not talked about more.
Oh yeah. This is like meta on meta.
It's the most meta thing to ever exist, dude.
Yeah.
It's the most
especially-
self-aware
Yeah.
anime I've ever seen.
I described it as like being a band person. It's like if I wrote a concept album about a band writing a concept album,
Yeah. 100%.
Absolutely, dude.
except like
100%.
without interesting poetic lyrics and
Yeah.
like really good parts at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're
Yeah.
just tuning in, we are going to spoil the fuck out of everything.
Yeah.
So if you have been tuning in before, you know what we're all about.
You know.
Yeah.
You know. But yes, thank you again, Andrew.
Yeah.
I actually have a quick descriptor before Jordy gives
Yeah.
his.
I
but-
gave mine already, but you can.
Oh, okay, cool. Well,
Concept album about a band writing.
oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry, it just fell flat. That's all.
I was not thinking that was going to be
That's
your
what it was.
description.
It's like-
Like, usually you have something more witty.
It's like if I'm in a band and I write a concept album.
To me, this is like this is not very specific or very good, but to me, this is Anime Shmanime The Anime
Interesting.
because this is Mikey and I in club format.
Yeah.
And you trying to infiltrate
Yeah, you're right,
and date
100%.
one of us.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what though? I wouldn't think I would try that hard.
You don't get it,
Yeah.
but you eventually learn
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
But often the hard way, not the way Mikey and I did.
Yeah.
Through love,
Yeah.
you learn about it like through tragedy.
Yeah.
and,
Trial
and
and trial
and
and
hardship
trial
and
and
tribulation
error and error
and
and error.
tribulation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and but at the end of the day, that deep down he loves it.
Nope.
And like he wants to be a part of it.
That's not how that
And-
turns out for her either, though.
Oh yeah, it does.
I think deep down,
yeah.
I think deep down he gets it at least. I don't know about
Are you
loves
talking about
it
me?
yet. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you
Yeah.
were talking about her. She
No,
doesn't
no.
get it or love it.
No, but I think we're making progress with you. I don't
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
we're quite at where we need to be with you yet, but I think we're making progress all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
all the time. Dude.
Keep trying.
Well, the other
Keep at
thing
it.
with this though, like it is such a good depiction of what otaku culture is, and like I mean, it's evolved a little bit since then because this is still a bit of a, you know, a result of its time, right?
I sincerely hope that the show is loaded with otaku Easter eggs that I didn't get.
Oh, 100, yeah,
dude.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Every single scene, you could probably count 5
Yeah.
references
Yeah.
or nods or Easter eggs to things.
I assumed, but because I don't know shit.
It's overwhelming actually watching it.
yeah.
How many there are.
Yeah, the only thing that like isn't nearly as common in North America, which I think it is getting there a bit, is the doujinshi culture, right? Like,
Yeah.
like fanfic is out there and people making all sorts of stuff like that, but like
It's niche here still.
it's still very niche here. Yeah, like
It's on Tumblr.
yeah, but people will go and buy like webtoons and things like that of people making fanfic.
Sure.
but it's not like you go to a convention
And it's all that.
and it's all
whole
that.
convention
yeah,
is
yeah,
that,
you know
yeah.
what
a
I
full
mean?
Doujin festival only.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And it's packed.
Slammed.
Yeah.
Like and people
Yeah.
line up for it and people
And they're
anticipate
emotional
it.
about it.
Absolutely.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But also it's a huge gateway and a huge kind of like talent pool for the major publications to pull from, right?
makes sense.
So many major title and like major publication mangakas, got started out as doing doujinshi,
Yeah.
doing independent indie comics, self-released,
Yeah.
self-produced stuff.
Yeah, like before you could get porn for free on the internet, you had to draw it yourself before
Well,
you
yeah.
could jerk off and come to it.
Well, I mean, hentai has been a huge part of Japanese culture. Like,
Well, before we could get Dragon Maid,
Yeah.
the mangaka who made Dragon Maid had to cut his teeth by making doujin hentai.
yeah,
Nice.
And that was the only reason that Dragon Maid ever got the green light was because he had made a name for himself.
I'm already pretty good at drawing tails and tentacles and stuff, so I
Yeah.
might as well keep doing that.
Just add that to the titties I'm already drawing.
yeah.
And thus
Yeah.
Dragon Maid was
And
born.
thus Dragon Maid was
And
born.
My favorite show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah. It is weird.
Well, next time we're gonna fucking grill some dragon tail, or maybe we'll make some dragon tail sushi.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yum.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right.
Speaking of let's go,
Yeah.
let's go and get myself through this Senpai's Corner so
Yeah.
we can dig into the meat of the show.
Teach us.
So some of this is about the manga because it's a very, very successful manga behind this anime, as is often the case. So Genshiken is a Japanese manga series by Shimoku Kyo about a college club for otaku, which for anybody that doesn't know is probably you. But in case you don't know what that means, extremely
Yeah.
obsessed fans of various visual media.
Well, I mean, if you are watching or listening to this podcast specifically,
You're an otaku.
you're an otaku.
Whether you want to admit it or not.
Yeah.
We'll give you a pass if you want to self-identify as a weeb or not. We like to.
Yeah.
Some people don't
Yeah.
like to, and we respect that. But I think
Or shweeb.
I think objectively, you're all otakus. We're all otakus. We're
And if
obsessed with
you're-
visual culture.
If
and
you're
visual
watching
media.
this with your significant other, you're an otapple.
Aw,
They coined that in the show.
I barely remember that, but yeah,
Yeah.
there's a
did.
lot in this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this episode specifically, because it's just so niche
Yes.
for
Yeah.
this specific one.
Yeah.
So the title is actually a shortening of the club's official name, which is Gendai Shikaku Bunka Kenkuyakai, which is the Society for the Study of Modern Visual Culture.
Cool.
The series has also been adapted into an anime directed by Tsutomu Mizushima. The manga originally ran in Kodansha's magazine Monthly Afternoon from April 2002 to May 2006 and has been reprinted in 9 bound volumes. A little bit more about the anime. So it was brought in by the production company Genko, and the animation studio Palm handled this. And I have some feelings about Palm's handling of the animation that we're going to get to
Have we
later.
seen any other Palm titles before?
That's a great question.
Yeah, because I'm trying to remember.
Palm Studio. No. Nope. They're known for Tetsujin 28 Go, Bartender, Master of Epic.
Yeah, I don't recognize any of those titles.
Yeah, absolutely horrible.
Cool.
And they're from like
Absolutely
2000
horrible.
Yeah, they're like 2004, like which is kind of where this was.
They went defunct in 2007.
okay.
For
So
reasons.
they only lasted
For
for
reasons.
founded in March 1999. So they lasted for 8 years.
Whoa.
8 years too long.
You know what? I bet you like any money they either got bought out or everybody else just went to bigger studios.
Yeah, I definitely would have ran from this studio like it was literally on fire.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
So the anime adapted the first 5 volumes of the manga. It also included a 3-episode OVA. I did not watch the 3-episode OVA.
Did I?
For once. I don't think you guys did either. If you watched 12 episodes, then no.
I watched 12 episodes.
Okay.
12 too many.
Anyways,
What do you mean?
we'll get to it. We'll get to it. The anime adaptation is very faithful to the original manga. So they kept it really, really close. Few revisions being made, with the exception that many references to specific anime, manga, and video games are changed or removed. So obviously they were trying to keep things topical. You know what
Gotcha.
I mean? And
Yeah.
so the few changes here and there. The previously fictional Kujibiki Unbalanced manga series was also turned into an anime series to match the medium, with 3 complete episodes being created for sampling in the anime version of Genshiken.
That's
the,
these guys.
that's the anime that they're watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They made that into a real anime.
The 3-episode thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. The 3 Kujibiki Unbalanced episodes are provided as bonus OVAs with the purchase of the Genshiken DVDs. Just a little tidbit there for you. But yeah, and there's been some sequel series as well. There's the second generation is
Yeah, there's Genshiken 2,
Yeah,
Genshiken.
there's a lot out there. And then obviously Kujibiki Unbalanced now has like a bit of a following, and yeah, so a lot of kind of spin-offs here and there.
Oh my God.
From what I've seen, and it was only because it was accidental that I ended up putting on the first few minutes of the second season.
Okay.
I did notice a massive step up in animation quality.
They have to.
Whatever studio they went to after Palm
Yeah.
was just by default
Yeah.
far better.
Well, when you're coming from the bottom,
Yeah.
now you're here.
And yeah, and I would say probably gave me a slight glimmer of hope of continuing to watch this series.
Interesting.
I didn't hate it, but I think I got it
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
the 12 episodes. I'm content with what I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I
don't
feel
know
like
if
I
content-
don't need to go any further. I'm sure it'd
Yeah.
be fun.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know if content is a word I would use, but
No, you know
done.
what? It was
I was done.
I think I enjoyed it more so than the majority, in the sense that like this was one that
Yeah.
as I was watching almost felt a little bit, and it's because there's school clubs involved, but like Asobi Asobase essentially, in the sense where I think this is better digested and better watched one episode at a time.
Yeah,
a
one
week
episode
apart.
a week. Yeah.
Check in,
Okay.
have a little mindless fun with the Genshiken Club, see what they're up to that week, and then forget about it for another week, right?
You're probably right. Yeah.
Binging this, 12 episodes basically in a row, which is more or
Yeah.
less what I did.
Same. Like one eye.
It gets a little rough.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a rough one for me.
Well, like I said before, this is a product of its time.
Yeah.
Right? Not to mention like all of the stuff in there. Like I wasn't nostalgic for this show per se because I haven't seen it either.
Right, okay.
But I was nostalgic for the stuff that was being presented in
For
it,
sure.
like some of the games that they played,
Yeah.
some of the things like
The
other,
gunpla kits.
the gunpla, even like just the references in like using like, this character, he's kind of like he's kind of too Xeon-ish, like
yeah.
and stuff like that. But it's so true though that not much has changed, right? Like as far as like what an otaku club would look like to me.
Yeah.
Right?
Agreed, fully.
They'd all have
Yeah.
one cabinet full of horny material with doors that close.
Oh,
You'd have the manga collection. There would absolutely be
Yeah.
a horny section to the manga collection.
Yeah.
You'd have a TV screen somewhere in the room, probably playing some
Yeah.
random anime.
Yeah, or video games.
Yeah, video
Or
games.
exactly, or video games.
Yeah.
You'd have people at the table building gunpla kits or drawing.
Just
you know what I mean?
talking,
Or,
shooting shit.
and then talking about whatever anime they're watching at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I
Like-
could see though is that like the club nowadays would probably be way more diverse, as far as like having more girls that are interested and like having.
Yeah, I agree. That being said, I do kind of applaud this show for showing some level of diversity.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit.
You know what I mean? Like there are girls. They're a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did kind of feel
Girls.
like token girl.
Yeah,
but like
for a little bit, yeah.
But at the same time, like Mikey said, it's a product of its time. It's representative of its time. There's probably a lot of girls who connect with Ono.
Yeah.
Because they were that
Yeah.
one token girl
Or
in
like
that group
wish
of
they
friends.
could have been, but like
Dude,
didn't feel
I-
like they could join.
I went to high school and university with probably 5 to 10 Onos.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I know that girl personally.
Yeah.
Dude. Literally, as soon as she showed up
We
in
know
the
that
room,
girl personally.
As
We
soon-
do?
Yeah, we do.
as soon as she walked in the room, I was like, "Oh my, yeah, like yes, that is absolutely an appropriate character to bring into the situation."
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
They nailed her. I think the accuracy of the characters was like really fucking spot on.
Wait, so this one came out what 2004, I think, or 2000.
2006 to 2000. No, sorry, yeah, 2004. 2004. Yep,
2004. So when was the second one released? The one that you watched that with the animation was
That
much
would've been-
better.
That would have been Genshiken 2, so 2007. Or no, second generation was what I saw, which was 2013. 2013.
Yeah, so I would expect like that's a
Yeah, 9 years
9
later.
years
I should
later,
hope
yeah.
you're not still pumping out this in 2013.
But here's the other kicker, dude, is that I'm also currently watching Bleach right now, and and Bleach is in the where I'm at in Bleach took place roughly 2002 2003, so before this.
Yeah.
And where I'm currently at in Bleach is some of the best quality
Yeah.
animation and
Yeah.
drawing that I've ever seen in a serialized anime.
These guys just weren't
In
trying that hard.
in any anime,
Yeah.
not just serialized. It's exceptional that it's in a serialized anime, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, I know stuff. Dude, we're prepping right now for another episode of an anime that came out in 1990.
Yeah.
That has some of the best animation
Yeah.
ever,
Yeah.
dude.
Awesome
Ever.
animation.
So Palm just really shit the bed on
Palm's
this.
just a shitty studio, or the people that were in charge knew that the appeal and the draw and
It wasn't
charm
the
of
art.
this show was not going to be the visuals.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
never going to be the
Which is
visuals.
ironic because they're a club that's obsessed with
Visual
culture.
Well, the club itself has like. It's all about the culture because they have an anime club and they have a manga club, which
That's
are
right.
both very well represented in their own right in
Yeah.
this show. But like, what else would there be to be like spectacularly visual in this anime? Like, it would be maybe some scenes when they're watching anime. Like they pull right directly from other stuff. Like,
I mean-
when they do play Guilty Gear, it's like literally just Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
Right?
It
Like-
would have been nice if their hair went in front of their eyes instead of behind their eyes.
The clipping, dude, was out of control.
Yeah.
Like that would have been one thing they could have done. That would have made it better.
Okay, yeah.
Massive
but that's
issues
like,
with sticking to so we're getting into art right now.
Yeah, let's just do
let's
it.
just get into
So
art. Yeah.
so we're having massive issues with sticking to character model. Okay.
Yeah.
Which tells you that this is probably being passed around between 5 or 6 different animation or animators
Yeah.
who are going just off their fucking brain, not sticking to models. So literally, like, just between head movements,
Yeah.
the character's face will change just entirely. The whole shape will it'll look like a different person suddenly.
Amazing.
Okay. Like you said, you've got bangs constantly clipping behind the eyeballs.
Yeah.
Which makes no fucking sense.
That made me. I took 2 pictures of it because I gotta get a shot of this.
Dude,
this
it was-
ridiculous.
This is, I would say, and I'm sorry for fans of this, this is probably the worst looking anime I think I've ever seen.
the worst.
The worst.
It's
dude.
like it's boring and drab and sloppily executed.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess if we go technically,
Because here's some contrast. You guys will like this contrast. Beck,
Yeah.
okay,
yeah,
has an incredibly muted color
sure.
palette. Okay,
Yes.
it's very drab. I
Yeah.
would say.
yes, and roughly around the same era.
Yes.
Grunge.
But
Yeah.
like you just said though.
Yeah.
There are grunge themes, there are rock themes, there is a rawness and a realness and a groundedness to Beck that works with the look of it, right? And yes, there's a groundedness to this because it's very grounded. It takes place in a school, but the drabness doesn't work with that.
No.
Yes.
To me, it takes away from it because I'm always looking at just shit with this. There is no reprieve. There's no break, right? Whereas in Beck, you get those concerts, and then the grittiness and the roughness and the grunginess is feeding it. It's working for it.
Yeah.
With this, the dullness never serves the show.
There were a couple of
Never does it any favors.
Tell me how you really feel.
That is it, dude.
He really feels like that. I believe he said the worst looking,
the
worst.
ugliest anime I've ever seen.
There
for
were a
sure.
couple of I want to say like background stuff, like when when he first walks up to the Genshiken club and he's walking through that abandoned building. That's episode 1, and I was like, "It's promising." But then that was the only time you get like a piece of that.
Yeah. I mean, I give all the credit in the world to background artists and to people who do like matte paintings. And they're incredible artists that are very, very good at specifically what they do. The giveaway is the characters.
Yeah.
The moment you see a character and you see the style in which they're going to be animated, you know generally whether that's going to vibe with you or not. This has the unfortunate other side of it from being from an era of animation that I generally really don't like.
Okay, yeah.
2000 to like 2010. I don't aesthetically like.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that later on, especially when we talk about Gundam.
Okay.
Because one of Mikey's favorite Gundam series is Seed.
Yeah.
Right? And that is firmly in that era of animation that I can't fucking stand, dude.
Tell me how you really feel.
No, but
we're not gonna get into that one right now.
But it sucks.
Heavy.
It sucks because there are some really classic shows from that era,
Right.
Yeah.
and there are definitely exceptions to the rule.
Yeah.
I just mentioned Bleach,
Sure.
is killing it right now. And if I stuck to that, I won't watch anything from that decade.
You would have never watched Bleach.
I'd be missing out on some really classic, amazing shit.
Yeah.
But I would say, on average, if you were to compare it, say, to the 90s or like 2010 to 2020, I would say your average show is looking really rough in that decade, man.
This is
I'm
the
gonna
era.
disagree, but
if I'm
we're
going to
gonna
go
move on
to
from
like
that.
my original description of like a music correlation, it's the 80s.
It's the
No.
Music sucked in the 80s.
look. There's not.
Whoa.
In comparison to the 70s and the 90s,
Yo, we're not going there because you know why we're not going there? Because we're gonna fucking get caught in the weeds. Okay,
Music's better in the 80s than in the 90s. There, I said it.
Oh, we're not going there either.
all right.
Okay, well, staying on track, guys. Holy fuck.
All right.
Okay, so
Jay and I are going to fight on the OnlyFans.
yeah. Yes, if you want OnlyFans, go on there and pay for our fights afterwards.
We're in the nude.
No,
We're in
I
the
won't.
nude.
I won't continue to beat a dead horse, but I will say, art-wise, I don't have enough bad things to say about this.
Yeah. Agreed.
Not a single positive.
Yeah.
Look, I give it a pass only because I know, like, actually, after you telling me who made this, like what studio made it, and probably was like zero budget, I only give them a pass more so like as a
Mercy.
You give them a pass because you know they
Mercy.
couldn't do better.
yeah, they probably couldn't do better, but like
I don't know
mean,
if that's a pass.
But like as far as art goes, like you even said, Bleach at the time was really good. Naruto was still airing.
There were definitely exceptions.
Yeah, there's
Absolutely.
exceptions.
And this is not one of them.
But 2000s had a lot of great anime, and
did.
again, I am not going to get into that right now because we're going to take up way too much time. But let's move on. Okay. So this is now. Let's talk about the world. The world is Japan, and
Boring ass Japan. They're in college.
Nothing positive to say there either.
well, I mean, okay, there's nothing to it other than it's the world, and we've gone through that before with other anime where it's like it's just Japan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Moving on.
Moving on. Music also nothing to say there either. Zero notes.
Yeah.
This is going to be a short episode, guys.
It might be.
No. The meat of it is when we get into the plot where there's really no plot.
Yep.
Slice of life.
Yeah.
Slice of life.
This is going to be a short episode. You want to talk about 80s music versus 90s music for a minute? Or?
I think we have some time to. I'm sorry, our friend who suggested this. I mean,
Look,
we don't.
Mikey likes it.
We don't mean to
liked
be
it.
tearing it apart, but
Yeah.
and trust me, it made me smile many times.
Yeah,
Many times. Mostly just through the references, but yeah.
I think what this was when our boy Andrew in our comments was suggesting this was to give you, Jordy, more so of an idea of what being an otaku means.
Yeah, and I
right?
was just going to say that too. Like, we kind of have to cover the show that's about what this show is about.
It's a fantastic suggestion. Like I said, I'm so glad I've seen it now, and I'm like incensed that I never heard of it before. It makes I don't get that. So thank you for exposing me to this. It just didn't shake out great.
Poorly executed.
Again, I feel like product of its time. Let's move on.
All right.
You fuckers.
Okay, let's talk about the characters, because I feel like we could probably spend a decent amount of time on the characters, because there's like a handful of them, and each one is completely unique from the other. So we can kind of go
because, well, here's the thing: they all represent a different otaku.
Yeah.
But they all overlap each other because they all have the same world that they come from.
Yeah.
But unlike where you have the anime club and the manga club, where like the manga club is specifically drawing manga and pumping out these books with a fucking dictator producer kind of guy, or like club manager, editor. Right. And then you don't really see much on the manga, but it's more or less the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. And so, but these guys, they're all like, yo, just come here. We're cool.
Yeah, because they're not even saying
they're
not even saying you have to like all forms of visual art.
Yeah,
they're just saying, do you like a form of visual art? Then come hang out with us.
Yeah,
because we also like a form or two each. Basically,
well, they all share in each other's favorite things. You know what I mean, they all take part. They all find some joy in it, or they all.
It's like they all dabble, but each one has a specialty. They all dabble in them all, but each one has a specialty.
Yeah,
right?
But nobody's ever made to feel alienated or isolated because of their choice of favorite thing.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't line up with the rest of them or whatever, like that doesn't ever.
Holy fuck, this
play
is us.
in. You know what I mean?
The person who makes them feel alienated is the outsider who makes them feel bad about liking the horny shit.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is me.
No. Okay, so here's the thing.
The parallels are uncanny.
Yeah, it really is. Okay, so as far as the antagonist goes, because what's her name is kind of the antagonist. Saki, yeah.
Me.
She is the one who comes in, doesn't really know what it's all about.
Yeah.
And she's the mechanism to explain what's going on, right?
So she's the main character of the show, as far as I'm concerned. I know we're introduced to Sasahara first, but to me, he's kind of a launching point.
Yes.
I think they're both the main characters. I think they're equal parts main
He's
characters.
not even in a couple episodes in the middle there.
Yeah.
They really go off into her fucking relationship land big time, but I think it's all grounded by him. The whole
But they even give you, it is grounded by him, but she gets little individual relationships with kind of all of them.
Yeah.
In at various moments. You know what I mean?
It's hard to say like main character, but the show's about her.
Well, she's the main character, just like I'm the star of this podcast.
Listen,
right?
Listen.
The parallels are uncanny. You said it.
If you want to know where that fucking reference comes from,
I think
go
it's
to our
pretty
Discord.
clear that Jordy's the star of the show.
Yeah, he's the fucking.
I didn't say it.
Star.
No, but I think it's pretty clear.
I agree. Yeah.
Humble too,
You know what I mean?
right?
We all
Humble
know
too.
it.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear.
The parallels are uncanny.
But
Main
look,
character, star of the show.
Yeah. But okay, back to like us, like you're what's Saki?
I'm Saki,
You're
100%,
Saki,
yeah.
but you're not just Saki though. You're also like because you have a lane in anime.
Yeah.
You have what's his name? Magical girl
Falling from the sky?
falling from the sky.
Nah, I like-
yeah. It's like star-crossed lovers fall from the sky.
I
while
like
kissing.
some of those movies. Other ones I didn't like so much.
Yeah, that is true. But you didn't like them so much because they didn't do it as well as the one you like.
Yeah, that's
so
right. I like
much.
one of those movies. But that's also me in general. We've talked about this before. I like one of a thing that's the best, and I don't want any more of it.
You don't want any more.
You just want to.
I just want Misery
that.
Signals of Malice in the Magnum Heart over and over again, and no other metalcore albums.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's your lane, right? You know, we've got Jay here who kind of fits a couple lanes because I mean, there's 6 of the. Or no, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 8 of them really.
Mikey is
or 7.
Madarame. Mikey's Madarame for sure.
Yeah.
Easy, 100%.
Yeah.
I connected with like all of them in like different ways. You know what I mean? Kind of at different points throughout the series. Like I was like, oh yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
What was the big dude's thing?
yeah, I
what was
get
his like specialty?
Horny shit.
Was it horny shit?
They all like horny
They
shit.
all like the horny
Yeah,
shit. I'm
but
trying to think.
I don't think the big dude had one. He's
Wasn't
just
his episode he hurt his hand, I think?
no, that's Madarame.
No,
that was
Madarame.
Madarame.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
his thing is like really horny shit. Like he's the
Madarame?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, he's...
He really likes the horny shit.
He's horned up.
He like launches like an epic defense of the horny shit.
Oh, big
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, a
Big time.
big time one.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
he's going through the fucking entire convention with a broken,
broken hand, yeah.
and trying
Yeah.
to get through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right. And
he's
then,
also-
also
think that was the big
bullheaded
guy.
and
Yeah.
overreactive.
My brain is
He's
fucked.
Mikey.
yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. Look, okay? You guys already, if you fucking tuned in before, you guys already
Yeah.
fucking know. Look,
Here it is.
I'm
That's-
not,
I
I'm not
would-
proud of it. No, I am proud of it.
Yeah,
But,
there you go.
yeah.
No,
I
I
own
would
that
say
shit.
I would say that's the character I would equate the most with Mikey would be Madarame.
Yeah,
Just in
Madarame?
general, like attitude towards the culture and stuff. It's like
yeah.
Are you comparing me to a Xeon fucking dictator?
a little bit.
I mean,
I mean, okay.
a little radical, a little fanatic, a little
If
sadism.
the Sazabi fits,
Yo, you fucking know that's a great kid,
Wow.
model kid
Wow.
too. So
Which one do you think is Jay? I don't know. Jay might be Sasahara, to be honest with you. Just kind of kind,
no,
means well.
Jay is the fucking
what's the purple shirt guy?
Gunpla
yeah, I was
dude.
gonna say I forget his name.
But he's also like obsessed with the cosplay
Yeah,
and taking pictures. Oh yeah, that might be Jay.
yeah, that's
actually.
totally Jay.
Yeah.
Are you
is that
kidding me?
Tanaka?
Yeah, that's Tanaka.
Tanaka.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you're
totally
right.
Jay.
He's also like the most normal of them all. Like he's just kind of kind and nice and just
he's
like
kind of
friendly.
chill.
He's chill.
Yeah, he's
Jay.
super chill.
Ultimate chiller.
Yeah, and then
Try to be.
Hell yeah.
I actually the gunpla episode
Yeah.
was by far my favorite episode of the
I
whole
knew it
show.
was gonna
Would you
be-
let me?
Yeah.
Would you
Yeah.
let me look at and
Easily.
hold and play with your figures?
I would
Dude.
I would definitely be losing my shit if they're not supporting the
problem?
fucking
Yeah.
the joints when they're moving
Yeah.
the limbs.
Let me see that thing behind you there.
Yeah. No! Don't you fucking
just see it
touch
for-
my,
let me just see
my
it for a second.
unicorn.
Let me see it for a
Look,
second.
look. Jay and I both are really fucking into Gunpla, and as
Yeah.
soon as like they started talking about all the different little things,
Dude, when they started talking about the time of year,
Yeah.
and why it's
It's
better,
springtime.
why it's better to do in the spring with the humidity levels
Yeah,
and
yeah.
your top coat, and I started thinking back to the times I've tried to do top coat in the middle of winter, and had to like strip off the top coat in the
Yeah.
spring and do it again. Like,
oh, dude,
there's
or like
so many.
just having a
moments.
hand grenade, really at all times in your
sure.
hand.
You guys sound
Right.
like people who have post-traumatic stress syndrome.
Dude, I have some like
Yeah.
like Mike. You see my Gunpla collection over there anyway. So
Yeah, go to the
for-
TikTok. There's a bunch of cool videos of Mikey's figures
Yeah,
there.
and I had to move them again recently, and I was like, "Holy fuck!" I
How
forgot
hard did you sweat? How hard did you sweat?
dude? It was
Next time,
awful.
call me. I'll move them.
No,
No,
just
no.
I mean, you're lucky you've got the nice detolf cases. Mine are out in the open, so dusting mine
Oh no.
yeah,
is
no,
a
thank you.
fucking nightmare.
I'll dust them for you.
Nah.
No.
But no, it was great. Like and not only that, like the dedication of the show. I mean, you don't just see it necessarily in the specificness of the references. You know what I mean? Because like, you know, it's like they didn't have the rights to call it like the goof mobile suits. So they
Yeah.
called it the goof.
The go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, they reference Ramba Ral
Yeah.
several times when they find out that Ono is into fucking old men, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They keep like finding these really interesting ways, and I love that dedication, but also just in the real ways that they defend the culture, right? And the ways that they kind of have these scenarios play out where, you know, where what's her face, fucking.
Saki.
Yeah,
Oh, no?
Saki. The names in this show, man.
I've
even
got
to
them all.
To
I
the
wrote them
last
down.
episode, dude, I
Yeah.
could not nail the fucking names.
I can never nail the name.
This time I didn't have to make up
especially with
names.
this one,
I wrote them all
they
down.
use their first and last names interchanged a lot in this one.
Yeah.
Which is fair because amongst my friends, I do it a lot as well.
Totally,
But
yeah.
like, anyways,
Yeah.
she's she wrecks Ono's gunpla, right?
Yeah.
And Ono's really upset, and Saki makes several like concessions to try and cheer up Ono.
Yeah.
And so many that I think 90% of your average human being would be like, that's fair. Like that's a nice way to make it
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
to her, and like, you know, you should accept that. Like that's a great way to apologize.
Yeah.
And our boy Madarama steps in and he's just like, no, actually. You can't just buy her the same kit and make it go away.
Yeah.
You can't undo the weeks and weeks and weeks of dedication and care that she's developed around this thing
Yeah.
that you're so frivolously just tossing aside. Like, you can't make this better.
Yeah, you can't
This
buy your
means-
way out of it.
This
Yeah.
means too much to her for you to make it better. And like the amount of times that I wish I could get that through to people when I need to justify my collections of things or my attachment to these, trivial things to so many people.
Yeah.
I just wish I had a Matarama there to like step in and be like,
you got one. You got one right here. Just call him up anytime.
Listen, this is part of why Mikey and I are such good friends is because we feel the exact same way about this stuff, right?
Fair
And
enough,
like we respect the hell out of it, right?
Okay, I won't touch your models.
But I'm just saying, like, full points and full kudos to this show for like really fucking nailing that and saying things in ways that I wish I could have said so many times in my past to people that were trying to belittle what I've been interested in. This show is like such a ride or die for that,
Yeah.
I also like the fact that they don't actually make them all like super awkward in the sense that
It's true.
there's this stereotype of people in the otaku or even like other fandoms like magic or whatnot, right? Like we're all, gross, smelly people, basement dwellers, but that's not the case at all. A lot of people who like anything that is otaku is usually just a normal person who just happens to have an interest in it.
Dude. Well, arguably
it runs the spectrum,
Yeah,
really, right? Because you do have those
some
guys. Real wild freaks out there.
You got some basement dwellers.
Totally.
You do, but at the same
you also
time,
have,
it's like
you got like a Kosaka who is arguably like the most invested, so invested so that he's blind to everything else happening to him, and yet still he's somehow normal enough to land this non-otaku girl who starts coming to his otaku club because she likes him so much.
Yeah,
that's right.
You know what I mean?
I'm totally Kosaka.
I mean, you wish you were.
Dude, I am totally think about this for a second. Right?
Hold on. Okay.
Yeah.
I will.
Thinking about it.
Think about it.
Go on.
He loves fighting games. I love fighting games.
Okay, so do I. Go on.
Yeah.
Same.
But
You're the same.
I definitely play. I am much more hardcore into fighting games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. As far as if we're gonna level it out here.
Okay.
And that's about it.
Wow. The parallels are uncanny.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway.
Oh, you know another parallel? You really successfully got your wife into otaku culture. Oh wait.
That was Jay.
She hates it.
If anything, it's Jay who got her into K-pop.
Yeah.
So hard.
No, that's a different culture.
That's a different
Okay,
culture. That's
but
a total.
still.
So yes, I am.
Mikey was
Kosaka.
unsuccessful.
I am Kosaka. I have tried to get my wife into otaku culture, anime for so long.
No, but you're not him because it actually kind of works with her.
In the end.
Saki comes around.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so does Lisa.
Does she? Okay.
So my
I believe
wife
it.
will come around and like support me in it.
What about ABA? What about ABA, Mikey?
She.
What does ABA mean, Jordy?
Anything but anime.
But that's only when we're watching things
Anything together, yeah.
But we're like, but she's okay.
It's only when she might have to watch it.
Wait, so are you saying that she watches anime on her own when you're not with her?
No.
So she doesn't watch it alone and she doesn't watch it with you.
Both of you fuckers. Listen here. Look. When it's her and I watching TV, she's like ABA, fine, not anything but anime. But it's like sometimes she just wants to like fiddle on her phone and like watch YouTube videos with her headphones on. And I'd be like, "Can I watch anime?" And she's like, "Oh, that's okay. We can watch anime." Well, so
You really got her. You really got her, Mikey.
Yeah, she's okay with it. She supports it. Here, she did say that she would cosplay one time with us.
There you go.
So that's better than.
That happens in this show too. For
Yeah,
the same
exactly.
reason.
But do you cosplay as girls?
Do I cosplay as girls?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, you don't. Why are you lying?
He's working on a gender bending cosplay right now.
I am working on one though.
Yeah, no, you're actually turning a female character into a male character.
Yeah.
That is the complete opposite of what Kosaka
Wow,
does.
Mikey, the parallels are uncanny. The parallels are uncanny.
Anyways, Mikey's
anyway.
Kosaka.
I'm Kosaka.
That's clear.
Yeah.
What are some of the other characters in our team here?
I think the only one worth spending some time on is Ono.
Yeah.
But I think we already talked about her. You know what I mean? Like you said, this girl.
I just feel like I've known those girls that are they're not your typical girly girl.
Yeah.
They're not.
Well, they are, but they're not in the conventional sense, right?
That's what I mean by typical girly girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
No, they are, but they're not typical and not a typical girly girl.
no. Like, okay, well, I was just thinking. Anyway, fuck it.
Yeah, so like like they're not as concerned about like makeup or different hairstyles
Yeah.
or fashion or the things that your typical 2000s teenage girl is kind of force fed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
okay,
Like
I see
she
what you
comes in with the really big kind of unkempt messy hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's not really dressed up in anything super fancy
Her
or
hair's going
or
behind her
flashy.
eyeballs.
Yeah. Like she's
in through the sockets.
she's obsessed with the thing she's obsessed with, her interests. You know
Bald
what I mean?
dudes and cosplay.
That's a different thing. But like it's the otaku culture really that drives her. It's not
Yeah.
fashion. It's not boys. It's not her girlfriends. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or
Yeah.
keeping up with modern trends. It's her interests. Her individual personal interests is what she's obsessed with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've known many of those girls, and you can see it on them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can tell immediately that they are not concerned with the fucking new designer handbags that are coming out,
Yeah.
or the way that fucking Florence Pugh is doing her hair.
Yeah.
Like they don't fucking care because they have a new model kit that they're ready to build, or they're
Totally.
working on a cosplay. You know what I mean? Like they're into their craft. That's what they want. You
Yeah.
know? And Ono is that all over. I've met that girl so many times.
I kind of like that girl.
That girl's cool as fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that cool girl is cool as fuck.
Yeah.
I thought Ono was cool as fuck. I would
Yeah.
hang out with Ono any day.
Yeah.
I feel
100%.
like that's definitely true for like the 2000 girls, right? Like when you say typical in that way. And when I'm just gonna try to defend myself here for a second.
Oh, have you not been doing that?
Because
sorry.
I feel like nowadays, right, you get a vast like spectrum of girls and women who are into this stuff that do both of them, right? Like that are into makeup as well as fashion, and then
sure.
they're all into to anime. And
There's
the
exceptions.
otaku, right?
There's exceptions always.
Right. So,
Always.
but I just feel like nowadays you have more diversity in that way.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, like you'll always have the bald guy, and if you're a bald guy, you might want to subscribe to us.
So weak.
Oh, come on, that was like, pretty good.
You got work to do, buddy.
I do. But if you are a part of the otaku culture,
Only bald guys. Follow, like and subscribe and follow us.
Solidarity.
solidarity. Well, I guess I can't say that.
Yeah. Shut up.
Yeah. We both have a lot of hair, Mikey.
Yeah, you fucking asshole.
But if you are into the otaku culture, like and subscribe. Please tell a friend, because that's how people get to know us.
Yeah. Hop on the TikTok, Discord. Come say hi to us.
Yes, because lately the Discord has been popping off.
It's been a good time in there.
For you.
It's been a good time in there. Talk about hang time. Talk about Saved by the Bell. Talk about me.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
But yeah, and wherever you're getting your podcast, leave us a review.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
Thanks.
like us, love you.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on.
I wanted to talk more about Saki a little bit because not only is she the main character and the star of the show, just much like me, but she also is an interesting character in that she doesn't belong. And I know we've touched on that, but what's interesting is like somehow she's lonely before she joins the club and reconnects with her old friend Kosaka and falls in love with him. And that actually, I think, opens her up to what she's experiencing here, right? Because if she had other friends around, she doesn't
hang out with
need to
them.
come to this club. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
And she ends up with cute little relationships with all of them. She ends up very invested, and I don't think it's just because of Kosaka. You know what I mean? She
I agree.
also is looking for a place to belong.
Yeah. Actually, now that you say that, I totally see it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like I feel like I've met a lot of Onos. Like I've met plenty of Sakis as well, where to me she gave the kind of vibe where like she doesn't really have a thing.
Yeah.
She doesn't really have like a strong hobby
Yeah.
or a strong taste for anything specific or,
Yeah.
or niche or off the beaten path. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably wears what's in fashion at the time. You know what I
Well-
mean? Listens to the typical music that a typical teenage girl of the time
Yeah.
would listen to. Like
Yeah.
she's just going through the motions as she would be expected to. And
Totally.
And I know a lot of people like that who aren't into any one given counterculture necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes those people do struggle to maintain friendships and have big social circles. I know I would have if I didn't get into like heavy music
Yeah.
and basically make all of my friends
Yeah.
out of that scene.
Same.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I didn't have that ocean of people to make my friends, I wouldn't have had a lot to pick from. What would I have been doing? I would have been fucking sitting at home or just listening to Top 40. And
we don't have Genshiken Club here.
That's what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Like I had to latch on to these countercultures and these small niche communities and make my friendships out of that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of happening to Saki subconsciously, inadvertently, as she's continuing to chase Kosaka.
Totally.
She's finding this counterculture.
She's finding her people. They're interesting, quirky, kind,
but not through
little horny.
Not through a love for the material.
Yeah.
But through the interpersonal relationships that she's making
100%.
along the way.
Yeah,
which is
and
weird,
not only
but
that,
valid.
but to your point too, she does make a lot of effort, like even trying to like learn how to play video games.
She learns that she has to, and we'll get to that in the plot.
Yeah.
She figures out that she's got to give.
Yeah,
you got to give.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, but you do have to give a little bit, right?
Did you give?
But there's also in the plot where she's just sitting there reading manga.
Yeah, but in the plot we find out why she ends up there, right? We'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it. This is a plot thing too, but the other thing you'll get with her too is you do get a taste of her past life in one episode.
Yeah.
And you get a taste of the fact that like it didn't really work out for her. I think she tried the regular girly girl thing and didn't fit in there either.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know what I mean? But we'll get to that. Let's get into the plot.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there's one character we missed.
Who?
The fucking OG manager.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
The fucking black eyes.
I don't understand that as a part of this show.
So here's my thing.
Nope.
It didn't really make sense.
I think he was just kind of placed there a bit of a wise man trope. Right, like he's the one that like I've been here. Nobody knows. He's mysterious. They don't know exactly what year he is. Did he actually graduate? Maybe he's kind of doing that whole like Van Wilder thing where he's not graduating every year.
Maybe.
And then you realize he has information on everyone.
Yeah.
Right, and he has like little secret passageways to fucking
It's
be
not
a
okay.
super creep.
It's not okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like that. That's so super strange. Like
I got like a mystical vibe from him. I got like a maybe he doesn't exist kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Like he's a figment of their imagination kind of thing or something.
That'd be sick.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just wanted to bring him up real quick.
Totally.
Good call. He'll come up again.
Yeah.
I promise that. Okay. So the show opens up and we meet Sasahara and he's in college for the first time and he's trying to pick a club.
Yeah.
He shows up late or whatever and there's some rude bitch who's also picking clubs and that's Saki and she's just like angry. She's not having a good time. She recognizes an old friend of hers that's Kosaka. She hits on him, and he has no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's basically how we meet these three characters.
Yeah. Also, Kosaka is abnormally cute.
Yeah.
I will mention that.
Yeah.
They really go out of their way to make Kosaka like a androgynous heartthrob
Totally.
boy toy.
And she sees it right away. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
she knew him when they were like children.
Yeah.
And she's like, is that Kosaka? Damn.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Immediately smitten.
Yeah. And that sets off her pursuing him throughout the whole show.
Which is actually maybe the most otaku thing about her is that she's smitten by like the androgynous,
Yeah.
nerdy
yeah.
boy at school. Because how many fucking high school shoujo mangas or animes are that?
They should have used that together and be like, hey, check out this horny magazine of all these
Yeah,
like
yeah.
androgynous.
Yeah. Have you heard of Card Captors Sakura before?
What's that?
But you know what though, there is a big part of the culture that are really like a lot of guys who are into femboys.
Yeah.
Right. Like
Sure.
even
Totally.
in anime.
Yeah.
Right. So
Girls too.
Yeah.
It's just a thing that exists.
Yeah.
It's popular. They could have hooked her if they had shown her some of that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay, so as we're looking for clubs, we see the manga club, we see the anime club. They're all like whatever, and then we find Genshiken, and it's kind of a generalized otaku club as we established. He goes to scope it out, and it happens to exist in like on the third floor of an abandoned building in a deserted part of
tucked
school
away.
for some reason. Like
So tucked
why?
away.
Why? I don't understand.
I think it's just to show like how low they in like the hierarchy of the school clubs they are.
yeah.
Sure, yeah,
You know?
and that plays out later on. as well.
that plays out several times. Yeah.
Okay, so Sasahara shows up outside the door, and Kosaka's there, and he's like, "Oh, I just joined. Are you joining?" He's like, "I'm just here to check it out." And so we go inside, and it's like kind of a cool little room, to be honest with you.
Sick room, dude.
Like, I like the room. It's loaded with nerd shit. There's one table, and there's just like a bunch of nerds having like way too long conversations about anime that go right over my head.
Sound familiar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi guys.
Hey.
Welcome to Genshiken.
Anyways, while that is happening, everyone starts getting calls on their flip phones. And they one by one gotta leave randomly. And then Sasahara is just stuck there by himself, and he's like, cool. And he's like literally like looking around like this.
Yep.
Looking at stuff. He's looking at all the things. He sees the fucking closed cupboard. And he's like, there's porn in there. And he opens it up. He goes right for it. Pulls out the porn. He's like, oh, cool. And then they all bust in on him.
Yeah.
Because they were all across the street spying on him.
He
from the
looked
window.
up. He looked up the skirt of the one guy's figure.
Yeah, he did do that, didn't he?
Yeah. It blushes.
Yeah.
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 Blushes from it. Yeah.
Did that stress you out when I touched your figure?
Not that figure. Those
Okay.
figures are fine.
This one, though?
No, that's actually also a figure.
That's
It's not
actually a figure,
kit.
not a model.
Yeah.
It's
Everything
different.
here is safe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just in case that we have to crawl across the table to choke each other.
Let me see this.
Yeah, well, except for Deku, he's actually a model.
Okay.
Don't touch Deku.
Yeah, don't touch Deku.
You don't know who that is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't know who that is yet.
Which one's that? This.
No.
Okay. All right. So Sasahara, after he gets caught, we find out he's kind of like ashamed of being otaku. Like that really fucked him up. He didn't like it.
Yeah.
But I think they're all have gone through that at points in their life. You know what I mean?
They all
Well,
say
they
that to him.
they say like, oh yeah, we were you when you
We've
first
all
came.
we've
Yeah.
all been caught before.
We all looked in the cabinet and they came busted in on us.
If anything, I think it
Yeah.
reassures them that he's one of them.
yeah, Madarame is like, when they busted on me, I had my dick in my hand. Because you know that's how that went down.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay, so
It's almost like their version of hazing, right?
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. They want to make sure you're really otaku.
Yeah.
That you belong. Okay, so Saki, who is like dating Kosaka, even though he doesn't know it. You know what I mean? They're
the
fully
first
dating.
little bit, yeah.
Exactly. She finds his like horny collection, and she's so rattled about it. And there's a whole episode of her just being rattled about it.
I love that fucking scene. She comes in. She's like stressed. She's like,
Did you guys know that he has all this?
she's just so fucking upset by it. And they're just like, oh my God, what could be wrong with her? And then they tell her, and they're just like,
Yeah. Go look look over there. Yeah.
Madarama straight up is just like, yeah, I actually don't look at non-anime porn.
Yeah.
I only look at hentai.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's the problem?
Yeah, exactly. She also
You're the
continues.
fucking weird one here.
She continually calls it porno.
Yeah.
She's like, it's a porno.
It's porno.
Because
An
that's like,
anime.
That's like what our parents would call it.
Yeah.
Anyways, they have like eventually they convince Kosaka to tell her he likes her because he's so oblivious. And they're like, dude, you gotta give. And he's like, okay, yeah, I kind of do like you. And they have the most awkward first kiss ever in front of everyone. Immediately afterwards, he then ditches her to go do some anime shit.
Yeah.
I think at one point too, he goes to do an idol meet and greet. There's
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
singer that he's obsessed with that he wants
Yeah.
to go do. a
Yeah,
meet
it was
and
the same
greet
singer that he was listening to in
That's
the first
right.
That's right.
episode,
Yeah. In that episode, he's constantly ditching her. They'll be like out somewhere, and he's like, "Oh shit, I gotta go," and then she's standing in the subway station alone.
with. Just by
Yeah.
herself.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's
He
how
doesn't even bat an eyelash.
doesn't even think twice about it. Yeah. Which comes into play later, but we'll get that. Okay. So the next thing to go over is Comic Fest. So they go to Comic Fest all together as a group. Madarame
Joshin- yeah.
fucks his wrist up
Yep.
and powers through because he's an obsessive lunatic.
That specific convention center is very
Yeah.
famous.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
it's like a
seen-
real spot?
Yeah, it's a real spot.
Oh,
yeah.
Easter eggs. Cool. Okay, so while they're there, the manga club dickhead tries to poach Sasahara. And we get that first taste of like the toxic manga club, which is why Genshiken is the best club, apparently. And while they're there, also Sasahara like gathers the strength to buy some really questionable horny shit. Like he walks past the table 3 or 4 times, and eventually he's like, "No, fuck it, I'm just gonna go and buy this stuff." He's like, "Hey, can I look at that?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, sure."
Yeah.
And he buys so much horny shit.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, that's all he buys.
Yeah.
Is the whole convention horny shit?
Yeah, that particular one is.
All horny shit.
I think it was mostly because it was all doujinshi and like dojin.
Yeah, which I mean is like by definition is really just like indie comics, but
Okay.
like by and large there it's
Yeah.
horny shit. dude.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very commonly horny.
Yeah, there's not kink shaming, and I know it's outside of my realm of experience, but there's something a little greasy about the way they romanticize and defend the obsession with the horny shit. There's something weird, something that doesn't sit well. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, you're kink shaming right now.
Well, here's the question, right? Like,
Yeah.
would you feel is the dirtiness that you're feeling coming from the fact that the porn in question is animated. Here's what I mean.
Yeah.
The sliminess you feel of them, going to this festival or this comic fest or whatever. What if it was an adult, like the porn awards?
Yeah.
They have a convention
they have
down
a
in
convention.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Right? And you
There's
can go and meet
something-
porn stars.
There's something.
And then they do an awards type
Totally.
thing.
There's something empowering about women who choose sex work and sell it voluntarily. And there's
Yeah.
something greasy about a bunch of dudes drawing porno and selling it to a bunch of other horny dudes.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, if that's where your Grease vibe is
That's
coming
it, yeah.
from, then I understand that it's strictly the brainchild of a horny guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that makes
Yeah.
you feel kind of greasy.
It's just a bunch of guys who are literally going to leave that place and go and jerk off to each other's drawings.
Yeah.
Right?
That makes you feel greasy.
It's a little weird.
Well, okay,
It's
it's
a little
strange for
weird.
you.
Yeah.
But I like
Yeah.
the at the porn awards and stuff, all
Yeah.
those directors that are shaking hands and stuff
Yeah.
and schmoozing at that.
Yeah.
They've all, like-
they're all jerking off to each other's movies.
Yeah.
That they all made.
Or
Yeah.
they've made themselves, or usually
Yeah.
a lot, like that
Yeah.
industry is really
Yeah.
greasy, where the directors
right.
you'll actually have to say, "Hey, we have to do it just to see."
You're right.
before
Okay,
they
how
even
about this
make,
then? How about this then? Flip the script to a show that's like a very normal Western show.
Like Full House.
But like for children or like, I don't know, young adults or whatever, and make it about kids who go to the porn awards. You know what I mean? Is that weird?
So you're watching Euphoria. Okay.
Euphoria is a different show because it's
No. They're in high school. They're in high school. They're in high school, and it's a Western show.
Yeah, it is.
They're in
Yeah,
high
right.
school, and it's a Western show.
Yeah.
And the girls from Euphoria are like, "Let's go to Vegas. Like,
Yeah.
we got fake IDs. We can get into the
I'll be
porn
honest with you.
awards."
In that show, they don't need to go to Vegas. They're just already fucking like crazy.
Okay.
What did you
And
say?
that
to
doesn't
me
make you feel
downstairs?
greasy?
What did you say to me downstairs?
Does that not make you feel greasy?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you're right. It is a little greasy.
Anyways,
Double standards, guys, double standards.
Here's the deal. Here's
Yeah.
the deal. I agree to a sense that like I think people's sexual preferences and habits should by and large be kept to yourself. I think that should be private. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't necessarily think you should feel shame for it.
Sure.
And I do think that you should be able to at least discuss it amongst your friends and not feel embarrassed by
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And I think that that's really the message that they're driving home in this, is that this is something that they're all interested in behind closed doors.
Yeah.
They're not going to be shaming each other and being hypocritical about it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's open book time. And, should they maybe be making fun of this kid a little bit more for, his
The
nervousness?
giant bags of,
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
drawn
Yeah,
porno
dude.
he buys. Yeah.
Poke fun at that a little bit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Just
Have
like
some
how
fun
like
with that.
overly excited you are about
Yeah.
it.
You know?
Yeah.
But also like I've been there, man. Like when I had a lot of shame around my love for anime in general. And then the first time that I bought a figure, an anime figure of a girl that like was intentionally sculpted to be sexy,
Yeah.
that was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Am I that
Oh, yeah.
am I
I
that
just
guy now?
bought a porno.
I'm that kind of
figure.
guy
Yeah.
who buys sexy anime figures now.
Yeah.
And then I'm like fucking buying like I don't buy full blown hentai, but like I'm buying like I'm reading.
You're
I'm
not
reading,
buying the cast off
We're reading
figures.
Dead Fight Island.
but like
It's
I'm reading some doujin stuff. Like I'm reading some stuff that's like very sexually suggestive.
Yeah.
I'm reading some horny stuff. Like
Yeah.
I'm indulging in these things, and
Yeah.
it's definitely a step you take as an anime fan to be like, I don't care anymore if this makes other people think I'm greasy
Yeah.
or think that I'm weird or whatever.
Sure.
And you just
Yeah.
fucking accept that, like, listen, if you're an otaku, you don't think hentai is weird. Okay?
Fair.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't.
Stop pretending like you do, okay?
yeah.
You might not fucking get your jollies to it,
Yeah.
but you definitely don't think it's that weird, or else you
Sure.
would not be involved in this culture. It's
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
ingrained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too one to
The
one.
amount of fan service, just even in regular anime,
Everything.
Yeah.
but like, you know what it is? I think it's just the fact that it within the culture is just so normalized, right? And like
Yeah.
where
For sure.
how outside of the culture, right? People who don't understand it, and it doesn't
You
even
mean me.
matter. Yeah, but you do to a degree, though. You do understand it to a degree. Because like, let's be real here. One of the sexiest peoples we've talked about.
The mom from Erased.
Oh,
My-
those lips, dude. Those lips, bro.
I couldn't help it. Sorry.
The motorcycle check from Golden Boy.
Yes,
that what you're talking
that
about?
whole show.
That whole show.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, oh man, I think I found my waifu.
Va-va-voom.
Yeah, I
right.
did.
You know what I mean?
But
Like,
but I'm not okay. And here's the thing: is like it's one thing to like go to the AVN Awards, the porn awards or something,
Yeah.
okay? It's another thing to
Well,
go
you
to
know
the
the name of the awards?
Yeah.
Yo,
It's another thing to go to the porn awards, whatever it's called, and also be part of a club with your friends where all you talk about is the porn.
but
It's
it's
not
not.
all
It's
they
not
talk
all the
about.
It's
time.
90% horny
It's not,
shit.
it's not
It's
all.
not.
It's not.
There's
It's not.
90% horny shit.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not, man. There's
show
an entire
is-
episode of fucking Gunpla.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
They
an
veer.
entire episode of just fucking cosplay.
Yeah.
There's entire episodes of just like what is it to be
You're right.
within the culture.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyways, my point is that it's about normalizing it.
Yeah.
Right. Where it's like it was just like talking about I don't know your fucking star signs or your astrological sign or whatever. Right. It's that's all it is. It's like oh you're into that cool. I'm not, but that's cool. Let's go
Yeah.
talk about this thing now.
All right.
Right? Because I mean, the culture now, and I think any fandom in general. I've said this before many times. There's always going to be an amount of toxicity.
Yeah.
Where people are going to be judging, especially depending on like how elitist you are.
Yeah.
Right. Like
There's a lot of horrible hentai out there.
yeah,
Like,
and exactly
scary
right?
shit, dude.
And there's
Yeah.
Go
there's
to
hen-
jail
yeah,
shit.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
There's hentai too that are specifically.
Yikes.
They even show it in this anime where like, hey, where Ono's like, hey, do you want to see some hentai that's more geared towards women?
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
there's there are stuff for that.
Yeah.
Right?
That
So-
also comes into play at the very end.
Yeah.
We'll get to that too later.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think this show, you know, it's definitely trying to normalize it in that episode in particular when he's buying his first horny stuff.
He buys
And-
so much. He gets
And like
so
I said, I
excited.
think it's just paying tribute to one of those rites of passage that a lot of us otakus take when they decide I am going to put my shame aside here and
Yeah.
I'm going to indulge in something that I like to look at. And if that's anime titties or, you know, a big Dick Fight Island armored dick sheath, hell yeah, get on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Good for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And that's all this show is celebrating.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the irony that like why is he so nervous when literally everybody else is indulging around him?
Exactly. And
That's true.
also to your point about it being a bunch of guys just drawing this stuff up,
Yeah.
that in a sense makes it victimless as well.
That's true.
You know what I mean? There are no humans that were hurt in the production of this doujin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a good point.
Unless you're part of the manga club and you've been overworked.
Yeah.
Right. It's a different kind of abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's like draw me more horny shit.
Hornier.
I need more. More.
It's run by the Golden Boy guy.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Draw it more!
Holy.
Queen! My queen! Her throne!
Spit in my mouth.
Oh my God, dude.
Amazing.
I'll never forget that show. Golden Boy for
Me neither.
life, dude.
Golden Boy for life.
One of my favorites.
A very funny one.
Anyways,
Anyway,
back
all
to
right.
the fucking plot.
Back to the plot.
We lost
Okay.
the plot, boys.
We lost. Let's pick it back up when Saki's ex comes to visit, okay? So we find out she has this ex-boyfriend. He's like a full-on kind of normie,
Yeah.
kind of like she is. And Genshiken finds out before Kosaka does, and they start stirring shit up. They're like following her around, trying to embarrass her a little bit. And she's freaking out because she's like, is he going to think? Is this guy going to think like I'm an otaku like these fucking nerds? And it turns out it doesn't matter. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's completely oblivious to her. After she blows him off the first time, he doesn't give a fuck about her at all.
Yeah.
And in the end, it ends up somehow she ends up with the cosplay ears on. And she walks by him in the hallway and she like loses her fucking shit. And he
love
doesn't
that
even
song.
notice her. And then she runs into Kosaka and he's like, hey, those are kind of cute. And she loses her shit and beats the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
Classic.
That was a great episode.
This is all right. Okay, so now we're gonna move into like kind of like how the Genshiken Club fits in with all the other clubs because I don't remember why for the first time they get in trouble, but they're gonna be getting shut down.
Well, it's because that every time they have to take part in anything, they reuse stuff from like the years before that. Like so, right?
So they're not trying hard.
They're not.
There's a bunch of lazy nerds.
essentially, right? Like you know, like
They're like the school defines like activities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't do enough activities.
Yeah, they just hang out in their room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not taking part in enough stuff with
Okay.
the greater community.
Okay, that makes sense. Because what happens is Saki, for some reason, is the one who's on a warpath to save the club.
Yeah.
She's the one who
I'ma
goes.
step in.
Yeah, she's like, you guys aren't going to be able to, so I'm doing it. And they end up like kind of weirdly humiliating and hooking up like the leader of all clubs with her assistant in some weird like I don't even remember what the fuck happens. I don't think it matters.
no, it was yeah. It's she goes and seeks out the manager of the Genshiken club, and it's like, I know you have some information, and he's
Yeah.
like, I might have some information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About fucking athlete's foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't want
Exactly.
to know.
And she's like, oh, okay, I'll join the club.
Yeah.
And joins the club.
Yeah.
Straight up.
She joins the club.
Yeah.
And this is where they coined the term otaple, because she joins the club and they're like, oh, you're an otaple. And I'm
No,
like,
no. You're getting it. You're getting my what I'm saying mixed up.
whoa.
So she joins the club because the manager has
Dirt on her.
dirt on her.
Yeah, they don't tell you what the dirt is.
Yeah, they don't tell you, but they
Right.
insinuate, and because he even says that they're really gross things. Like, I would stay away from the, like, I don't know what it was, like the third floor women's bathroom or something like that, right?
yeah.
Yeah, because he's
But-
got hidden cameras in there.
Yeah, or some shit like that.
Gross,
or even
dude.
in the club room. But he was saying that the assistant that manages all the clubs, she has athlete's foot, and she didn't want her manager to know.
That's
because
right.
She likes
She
her
likes
manager.
him. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Anyways,
Anyway,
doesn't really matter.
big complicated
Pretty
little story.
unimportant.
Yeah.
Pretty unimportant altogether. Okay, so Saki's now in the club. She starts like kind of gently exploring otaku shit, and then like I don't care all that much about that either. Sasahara's sister is coming to town, and she's like a full-on normie. Big old normie, and they go and meet her at the train station, and Kosuka shows up
She's
at
such
their
a
meetup.
brat.
She's a brat.
She's a brat.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
And Kosuka shows up, and he obviously is like the cutest little fuck you've ever did see. And he shows up with like the horniest anime shit we've seen in the show yet. He's got like a giant fucking poster. And Sasahara's like, "Don't stop! Don't roll here!" And he rolls it out in front of her, and
I
it doesn't.
fucking love how deep he is
Yeah.
at that point. I'm
He
like,
doesn't give a
man
fuck.
just doesn't care
Yeah.
at all.
In the middle of a subway station, look.
Yeah. I love it, dude. I love it.
And because he's so cute, it doesn't really matter to Sasahara's sister because she's still super into him.
Yeah.
And that goes weirdly. And Saki's jealous, of course. And at the end of that episode, because Saki's jealous, she's like, oh, okay, well, let me play that game with you one time.
Yeah.
And she plays the game with him one time.
See, I am
It's kinda cute.
fucking Konoha.
What?
I am.
Kosuka?
Or Kosaka. I don't know why I say Konoha. I don't know either.
Mikey. Mikey's like, I just run in the train station and bust out my porn, and this normie girl likes me, and then my girlfriend wants to hang out with me for some reason. Weird.
Yeah, weird. I am. I am unapologetically who I am.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Okay, so
I will say it was a nice little reference, Sonic reference there. They play Puyo Pop Fever, which is a Sonic
yeah.
team game.
Yeah.
the hedgehog?
Yeah.
Oh, sick. Yeah. Hey, I got one.
Hey.
Cool. Okay, so the original chairman, the mystical, dark-eyed chairman, is retiring. He announces he names Madarame as the new chairman, obviously. And then for a minute, they have like a bunch of new recruits who suck. They have like a bunch of guys. They all get hammered drunk together.
The two freshmen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's weird. It's just like a strange scenario for one episode that nothing comes of it.
Yeah.
I think what it was supposed to be was how, like, not everyone can be like a full-blown otaku. Some
Yeah.
people think they are,
Oh, interesting.
right?
Yeah.
But they're not quite there.
It's juxtaposing all the other characters we have by throwing two characters in who are like, yeah, we'll get in there. And then it's like, nah, man, nah.
It's actually not me.
It's the key, I think, part of otaku culture is the obsession. Like you have to be obsessed with it.
Yeah.
In order
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
you
yeah.
to be able to call yourself that. Like I know a bunch of people that casually have watched Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Or watched Dragon Ball Z when they were growing up.
Yeah.
Does not make you an otaku.
Okay.
At all.
Yeah.
No,
like, are you obsessed with Attack on Titan and Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah.
Then you're an otaku.
Yeah. Do you know the release dates? Do you know when the release date is going to be pushed back? Do you know when that second release date is going to
Well,
be pushed
It's
back?
really just
Are
about
you-
release dates is what you're
it's
telling
You
me.
don't need to know release dates to be an otaku.
You made 3
guys.
points about release dates, Mikey.
Because right now he said Attack on Titan, and that's what's happened. Okay? And we got a fucking season, and then they told us, no, it's actually not a season, it's a fucking movie.
So Mikey did inadvertently just demonstrate what it actually means to be an otaku.
No,
By accident.
Mikey's something else altogether.
Yeah.
A goddamn
Look,
maniac.
I'm just saying I have feelings around that.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, like I don't watch any other media unless I'm watching it with like Lisa, like with my wife, right?
Yeah.
Like
because she's not interested ever
yeah,
in
and so,
watching any anime or otaku things
Yeah.
with you?
Otherwise, I'm just watching anime when I turn on the TV. There's really no other thing that I watch.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's springtime, so gunpla, obviously. We already went over this episode. And one note I have we didn't cover previously is that at the end, in all her apologies for breaking Ono's model, she agrees to do a cosplay.
That's Ono's only thing she wants.
Yeah, cosplay with me.
One thing.
Yeah.
Do cosplay.
Yeah.
I love that.
And she agrees. Then we get the beach episode, which is like a little horny,
Yeah.
which it's going to be. You can't do a beach show without it.
But you need a beach episode in a show like
You
this.
have to, yeah.
Yeah.
And the beach episode includes Sasahara's sister, who is like fighting with Saki for Kotaro's attention. And then Sasahara's sister's ex shows up, and he's a dickhead. And then randomly Kosaka and Saki end up standing up for her. And it's like kind of cute, but she still wants to make a play for Kotaro, even though like these people just stood up for her. She's literally is just a brat, like you said.
Yeah.
She doesn't
she's
give
a
a fuck
brat.
about these people.
Keiko.
Is that her name?
Keiko.
Okay. Well, anyways, this brat
Did
pretends
not like her.
She pretends to get into otaku shit. She goes to Sasahara and is like, "Show me that stupid show you like."
Yeah.
And they watch a bit of it, and then she pretends to be interested in going to Comic Fest. And Saki's like, "Oh, I'll take you to Comic Fest." It's pretty funny. And then she kind of schools her because they do go to Comic Fest together, don't they?
Yeah.
And after this, the little sister's basically like, "Okay, I give up," because Comic Fest is too much for her, obviously.
Yeah.
It's too much for anyone who's not an otaku. And at the end of this, Saki realizes that in order to be a good girlfriend to Kotaro, she has to make space for his otaku shit. And I'm like, okay, so now we're getting character growth for someone in the show. Again, main character vibes. She's getting growth.
she really is. Okay, I can see why you say she's the
know what I
main
mean?
character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think she's the only one who really gets growth in this whole show.
Oh, 100%.
Maybe a little bit Sasahara when he like gets the courage up to buy the porn.
Sasahara is on a slightly less like drastic journey.
Yeah,
but I
he's
think
doing one of these.
He's doing a slow kind of.
He's a slow burn.
He's letting go
Yeah.
of his apprehension and his
embarrassment.
exactly. Yeah. His shame.
Yeah. Okay, so it turns out the Genshiken are hoarders, according to Saki. And she goes on a rampage to like getting rid of all their shit, which is wild because literally their entire club is about collecting shit. And she's like, "Nah, you got to get rid of almost all this stuff." And all of them are just kind of like, "Oh, okay." And I guess she's just too intimidating, and they're too like, like too nerdy or whatever. I don't know to say
probably,
no.
yeah.
And they're just like, I guess. So they box up all their shit, they put it in storage, and they're standing there looking at it, and then it accidentally gets set on fire.
Yeah.
And then basically because of the fire, they're going to get shut down again, and it's a big deal. So then we get, again, now Saki, who has agreed to cosplay as an apology before, now really has to cosplay.
Yes.
There's no way she's getting out of it now.
Now she's doing the contest.
Now, she's
She's
doing
not
the
just
contest.
cosplaying;
Yeah.
she's doing the contest.
And they dress her up as the main character of the show they watch. Something
And her
president.
President, yeah, and like it's the battle outfit of the president.
That non-existent show is the dumbest show I've ever seen. In my life.
That was like a weird one for me because I was like, out of all like the aesthetics that you could have picked for anime, that's the one you go with.
Well, this show doesn't excel at aesthetics.
I guess that's true too, right?
Yeah.
But like even stylistically, you could have even had still something very similar to.
It would have been an opportunity,
Yeah.
to give you something like this is what anime looks like in this world, like this is something different.
Yeah,
they
but-
didn't.
Yeah, they just went with the chibi, like cutesy, like
It's like Madoka Magica vibes almost, but
Yeah.
like way worse. And it's
Way
like,
worse.
Yeah,
way
way
worser.
That's the thing. Like,
Madoka Magica
you
Light.
know, I'm not liking the way an anime looks when the anime they watch in the anime is an anime I would never fucking watch.
Yeah.
You're not gonna watch the OVA, the 3-episode.
Not you
OVA?
could not pay me, dude.
I'm putting it on the list.
Nice.
I have access to the list.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, so in the cosplay competition, she kills it. She's hating every fucking second of it, but she kills it. The cosplay looks great, but that's because she didn't make it. They fucking made it for her.
Yeah.
She looks great. She's killing it. And then there's this dude in the audience with a spy camera.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but he also has a regular camera. It's like, why does the spy camera even matter?
Well, because the spy camera is low and looking up people's skirts.
Is that it?
That's the whole point,
Well,
right?
then they animated it poorly because it was just pointing straight across from his bag.
Wow, we've already gone over how bad the
Now,
animation is.
Anyways, she busts him, and it's like a big deal. They take him away, and like they're extra proud of her because not only did she kill the cosplay competition, but she also like stood up for all these nerds, basically.
No, her thing was why everybody like really liked her and like when she slapped the dude and caught him. That was actually the character, right? Everybody thought that she was channeling the character really well.
Okay,
and so everybody's like, yes, president, right? So
that's
it's like
super dumb.
No, man. So here's the thing, right? Because you've cosplayed before.
I mean, if we can call it that.
But it's essentially the thing about cosplaying too, and we didn't really touch up on cosplay because we don't do a lot of that. Is the cosplay culture, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people who do cosplay really are trying to embody that character, right? It's fun to play a character for a day or two, right? Like it's so having either your actual outfit be as close to it, right? Like even when we did the
the Batman Vegeta I met. Who really went for it?
Yeah. Right? Like some people just like love doing that. It's fun for them.
Fair enough.
I back it. Like,
all right.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, it worked out for her.
Yes, it worked out great for her.
And they won the competition. And so therefore they don't get disbanded, but they do get their activities suspended and they get sentenced to a bunch of community service.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they all have to do community service on the same day as Comic Fest, which fucking blows their minds because they're like, how are we going to get our horny books now?
Yeah.
And the only one who doesn't have to do community service is Saki. So she has to go buy all their horny books for them.
Yeah, she reluctantly does it.
And she hates it, but she does it.
Yeah.
Eventually, they do get reinstated. And at the very end there, this is the ending. We made it. Madarame, for no reason at all, steps down as chairman. He's like, I'm done. And he appoints Sasahara as the new chairman because Sasahara is the only one who's kind of an all-around otaku. He doesn't really have a specialty. He just likes it all.
Yeah.
I would say his specialty is horny books. Because
Seems that way.
Because his first act as chairman is to say, next Comic-Con that comes around, we're going to do a book and release it, and it's going to be a horny book full of dudes.
Yes.
And that's how the show ends because he says we're going to do that, and then they do.
Yeah.
The end.
The end.
Yep.
The end.
Genshiken. But like, I mean, it's true though. If you appoint somebody, you guys want to do something cool, do something different, you got to do something a little different, right?
Yeah. And I mean, I want to say he's doing that for Ono's sake, who loves that shit, and maybe Saki. And maybe he's like, let's be more inclusive. Let's open our ranks up so that when we get new recruits, it's not those two fucking idiots we had earlier in this year.
Yeah.
I want to say those are the reasons, but like, I think it's just legit otaku shit. I think he's just like, hey, I love horny mags. We're just going to do a different one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I do think Saki is an otaku deep down. She just hasn't gotten to the point where like what's his name? Sasahara. Where she's not over her embarrassment.
You think maybe I think maybe she has big otaku energy, but I don't think she's into anything yet. I don't think she's got like some sort of closeted otaku collection or obsession.
But exactly, right? Like she knows this is where she belongs.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a specialty. She hasn't found it yet, but she still likes everything more or less reluctantly in a weird way.
You see the road where she gets there, is what you're saying. Yeah.
Right? Because you do like I said, we do have that one episode where she's reading manga on her own.
Oh yeah, we didn't touch on that.
Right? Like she's reading it on her own. Like why was she there in the first place? It's because
it was because Ono and her friendship with Ono. I think Ono was telling her about some manga, right?
No. She was there by herself because Kosaka was like off doing something else, or like they had to like part ways, and she just hung out and smoked cigarettes and read it. And then
that's right. Ono catches her.
No, not Ono. It's fucking
Madarame.
Madarame comes in and it's like he's all like weirded out, like I don't know how to talk to her without everybody else around.
Oh yeah.
Right, like, and she's like, oh, but I just finished this. Do you have the next one? Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's there.
Otaku by boredom.
Otaku,
which is probably how a lot of people get there.
I think she has interest.
I think she has a lot of unlearning to do. She gives the vibe of the type of person who has come up with a lot of preconceived notions about what anime is like and what otaku culture is like, and the show, she's kind of unlearning a lot of preconceived notions she has.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, sure.
gunpla, they're toys. Oh, you
Yeah.
build them yourself? They're
Yeah.
worse than toys then.
Yeah.
And then she has to unlearn that mentality.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's when she starts to kind of understand it and come around to the idea, right? So she's like, it's this whole breaking down of her character, and once she's down to a actually open-minded state, then
Yeah.
I think she's
Yes.
primed to be
Yeah.
a total otaku. I think she's got it in her. I just think she's a broken person.
It's all those stigmas and biases that like a lot of people have because they don't take the time to understand our culture, right?
It sounds like me. I really am her. She really is me.
yeah, dude. That's, like I said,
Well, we're breaking you down.
Damn.
Anime Shmanime The Anime.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
so right now during this recording a couple days ago, and this is just mainly for the TikTok fans out there and TikTokers. There's this woman on TikTok who's like made this post about saying, "Hey, this is a question for the adults. Are adults watching anime? I don't mean to bully or anything, but like,
Wow, what a bully.
but yeah, right? Like,
How rude.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and that's like the one time that all the different anime fans who are usually toxic towards one another banded
turned their
together
towards an outsider.
towards her,
Yeah.
for bullying the community.
Yeah, dude.
But essentially, it's the same idea of how, like, you know.
What an out of touch take, though.
Yeah, really.
To be like, are adults really out here watching anime? It's just like, how many years has there been an animated feature Oscar nominee?
Yeah.
Like how many decades has the rest of the world come
Yeah.
around to
Yeah.
animation as like a valid art form?
Yeah.
That people are still out here thinking cartoons are just for kids? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
pull
No.
your head out of your ass.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Even North American cartoons, man, like Vox Machina, like if you're into like that D&D Critical Role kind of stuff, right? Like those are great North American animations.
Maybe.
Right? Well, I enjoyed them.
They are American animations.
This
They
is
are
Anime
American
Shmanime, not,
Anime Shmanime.
not Western.
So I do
Western.
watch
Cartoon
sometimes
schmartoon.
watch a cartoon every so often that are not for children. And like, I mean, there's tons of shit on Netflix now too.
Big
But
Mouth
anyway.
season 1, and then stop watching.
But anyway,
All right.
okay. Jordy, what's your score for this?
I gave it a 3 out of 10.
Holy fuck.
Nice.
I'll be
Nice.
honest with you.
That's
Here's the thing. I
solid.
wasn't desperate to turn it off. Like, I
Yeah.
wasn't in pain while I was watching, but it was very boring, and I was very not invested. Almost all the points come from the moment I realized Saki was the main character. And I was, like, really impressed with myself, but I think those points are for me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, but let me ask you, have you learned anything about the otaku culture and what it means to be a shweeb?
After today, maybe.
Are you fucking kidding me right
It
now?
was because of you guys.
To be honest, I thought as I was watching this, I was wondering the same thing. I was like, is Jordy like really like having his mind open to what this is all about? I'm like, I feel like you knew
I know.
already
Yeah, I
everything
know.
that
Yeah,
this
yeah,
show
yeah.
was kind of
Yeah.
It wasn't
Gonna tell
mind-blowing
you.
to me that these people exist in real life.
right.
I know these
And that
people
you're
exist.
best friends with two of them.
Yeah.
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 So, like, and I'm one of them as well, too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
well,
I've
you are
lived this.
Yeah, you are Saki. So
I've
like
lived
you
this.
are
Yeah.
you are an otaku at
Yeah.
heart.
I just was
It's
bored.
just-
I just don't need to be watching a show about a bunch of people who like shows. I don't need to be watching
No,
an
this is-
anime
like
a
I
bunch
said,
of anime watchers.
This is meta on meta on meta,
It's
right?
not for me.
Right. And we've already kind of gone over this before too in other episodes where you are not a slice of life guy,
True.
which I thought you were, but not.
Yeah.
What was the Mal score on this?
Give your score first, Mikey, you son of a bitch. You always do this now.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Because I want to see. But my score is a 7.
Wow.
So it's only a 7 because of all the nostalgic parts that I got from it, like, you know, all the references that they make and like how I felt about being an otaku. Like when growing up myself, like I didn't have any friends that were into this. And even like my last year of high school was in a completely different city, so I had to make all new friends. And like you and I both know, like it was the music industry and
Yeah.
music that really got my friend group. But even within that friend group, I was the only one that was kind of watching anime. Not everybody knew how deep I was.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Right? Like
We watched other nerd shit.
yeah, we watched
Western
other
nerd shit.
But like, yeah, and, you know, like, but you guys watch some of the mainstream like Ghibli stuff, but nothing
Yeah.
like crazy,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, so I give it a 7.
Okay.
Right?
Nice.
What about you, Jay?
5. It was a 5 out of 10. Yeah.
Really? I
That's
you
a
would have-
pass.
Yeah, it's
That's a pass. That is a pass to me. I think that for what this show is and what it's supposed to be, it does it. It does it right.
Yeah.
You know, it's a self-referential, self-aware anime, so it better have lots of references and lots of, you know, self-awareness. You know, right? and it did. It had those things, and it was accurate, and I connected and stuff. But I mean, just atrocious to look at, and and definitely not suitable for a binge watch. Definitely a little sprinkle here and there would have been a more enjoyable format for me.
You have 20 minutes in the morning while you're eating your cereal before you go to work. Put this on.
Then it might be a 6 out of 10. You know what I mean? Like maybe, right? But I'd feel weird going over that score for me. The Mal list is a 7.6 out of 10.
7.6.
Yeah,
It feels high.
it feels very high.
No, I feel like that's right.
Well, yeah.
You would.
That tracks.
You
for
gave it a 7.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
solid 7, 7.5.
So
Yeah.
7.5. Yeah, it's a 7. I wouldn't go any higher than a 7 because
Mid
it doesn't
to high.
it
Mid to
doesn't
high
go
tier.
anywhere really,
Mid to
right?
low tier, high tier, mid.
Yeah.
Mid tier, high tier, low tier.
Mid to high, low.
No, low. It goes low to mid, and then it goes to mid to low, then low to
mid,
high.
high to mid.
Sorry, what does it go?
It goes high to mid low.
Yeah.
And you guys can find
It
me
goes
on
howdy, 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 ho.
Loady, 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 low.
Okay, where can people find you, Jordy?
You can say hello to me at Reaching In on Instagram.
Sweet. And what
Or
about
on the
you,
Discord
Jay?
and tell me who the star of the show is. Who do you think the star of the show is?
I think it's pretty clear.
I think it's pretty clear.
At hanger.91
Yeah.
on Instagram and hanger91.bigcartel.com.
Yes, and you guys can find me on Shmanime Pod on Instagram and TikTok, and join the Discord because it's fun, like we were talking about today. Thank you, B3 on Discord.
My dude. My best friend. Hang time.
Time.
Running together.
Also, go check out Never Not Kittens. We run
Yeah.
a kitten rescue. It's a nonprofit. If you can donate, go check out the TikTok. You can
Put on
find the
these
links
ears
there.
when you do it.
Yeah, nickel. All right. Thanks for joining, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.
See ya.